Hi there, my name is Simon Hague, and I want to introduce you today to a bit about motivation through a model which I've devised called Energizers. This particular model is a great way to understand the things which are important to you, the person who is going to be completing this exercise, and how potentially you can then apply that to your thinking about what you're doing with your life. So let's take this one step further. What you need to do this is a sheet of paper. It could be an A4 piece, it could be an A3 piece, it could be a flipboard piece of paper. You know, the big sheets, the big A2s. Whatever you've got, you need to be thinking about now how you're going to write on that. And that could be a pencil, it could be a pen that you absolutely love, it could be crayons, it could be chalk, if you like working with chalk and you like drawing, it could be charcoal. Whatever you want to express yourself. It could be a flipboard marker. That could work really, really well on flipboard, of course. Now, the reason I'm mentioning that we want to do something on paper is because actually we perform better at when we're using paper. We like the tactile feel, and it helps us to actually work and get our thoughts out. What I'd like you to do now is, on the top of the piece of paper, write something along the lines of the things that energize me are. So the things that energize me are ... Okay? So you should now have a piece of paper which has got the things that energize me more written at the top of that piece of paper. Right. This is where I need you to start thinking. Think about a situation where you are performing absolutely at your best, where you are performing an exceptional level of performance, and everything that you were doing and everything around you was working absolutely the way it needs to work. Okay. Have you thought about that? Now, there are things that are happening around you at that particular moment in time which is helping you to actually perform absolutely at your best. Those particular things could have been, for example, something related to the environment you're working in. It could be the people you're working with. It could be the location. There's so many different factors, but what I want to focus on is the stuff which is working for you, the stuff which is causing you to be there. And what I'd like you to do in one or two words and a set of bullet points is to start writing those factors down on this piece of paper. So, for example, you will notice that I am walking through a wood at the moment recording this. For me, outdoors is incredibly important. I love being outdoors. I love seeing the blue skies. I love seeing hearing the birds. I love hearing the dogs barking as they're chasing each other through the woods. For me, that is just bliss. And for me, I draw energies from the outdoors. Now, what does this mean in what I do? I'm a coach. I'm also a trainer. I work with groups facilitating different thinking. Now, taking that into a classroom is quite tricky because you've got your environment around you, but you can put yourself into an amazing position having understood what the energizers are for you. So recently I was doing some work in London, and in London you've got a choice as to how potentially you get from your hotel to the training room. And so for myself, do I catch the tube, or do I catch a bus, or do I catch a taxi? Or do I do what I love to do, which is walk? Most of the time now, when I arrive in London, I jump onto my feet and I decide that it's a good time to actually do some walking. That means that I get outside, it means I hit the blue sky, I hit the sounds of nature, I hit the hustle bustle of London as well, which is actually another energizer, surprisingly. But I get to feel what's going on around me. And that, to me, when I arrive at the training room, as I arrive at the coaching session that I'm running, puts me into an amazing place of performance. I am at one with myself. I am at one with the way that I am going to be performing when I'm actually within that room. So we think about these particular energizers that you're busy writing down. We think about the things that are important to us. Other areas which may be in there. Things like trust. Is trust important to what you're doing? Is things like fulfillment, is a sense of achievement important to you? Are things like, I need to be ticking things off on a tick sheet important to you? And if we can start thinking about this, and if we can start recognizing what is important to us, we can change the way that we behave and the attitudes and the habits that we have. So, for each of these ones that we've now written down on this bullet list, we can start understanding a strategy, we can start understanding a plan that we can take forward. a plan which is real, a plan that we can start living by, habits that we can form by introducing maybe slightly different ways of doing things. So in this particular habit that I was talking about earlier on, when you are arriving in London, if like me you like the outdoors and you like the energy that you get from the environment around you, then perhaps you could get off a tube stop one step earlier. Or perhaps you can build some time into your day at lunchtime, for example, or when you can, to go out for a break, to enjoy the environment around you, to find a park which you've walked past so many times but haven't actually had a look in, to maybe jump on one of those bikes that you can hire in one of the city centres and give that a go and feel energised and released from it. So, in summary, what we have here, the Energizers model, is inviting you to think about the things that matter to you within what you do, and invites you to think about a plan as to how you can incorporate them into what you do. I hope you found this interesting, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. In the interim, if you want to contact me, please give me an email at web@where'smylunch.co.uk, and I will get back to you. Or alternatively, you can catch me on www.where'smylunch.co.uk, and you'll find some material in there which you may find of use.